I have been so entertained on Twitter watching how these TradCon men are speaking about conservative women. And they are doing a better job in pushing women from red to blue than feminists ever could. They are doing a better job. TradCon men are doing better to make feminists than the feminist history could ever do. So Lauren Southern, a TradCon woman, made a post on April 20th. I don't know if she took it down or not, but this group or this person, Nativist Concern, wrote a blurb about her saying, just a reminder, this loose woman of the night worked with Hope Not Hate and had a brown child with a federal agent who she's now estranged from. That was the caption on this post. Now let's see what the post says. Okay, so Lauren London, this is her tweet from April 20th. She says, nearly every single woman I began with in politics has moved left wing. They agreed largely with right wing ideas, but moved leftward because of the experiences with sexism within the right. You can think this is lame or stupid of them, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, it is absolute pure nonsense to suggest unhinged online discourse isn't impacting voters or ideological leanings. I've never seen something impact the political persuasion of people around me so much. My female friends who are not involved in politics much would otherwise lean conservative due to their upbringing are also completely turned off by the right for the same reasons. I'm talking girls who went to my speaking events, girls who helped film, edit, and volunteer in projects I did, girls who grew up in the church around me, women I work with and met at different shows and interviews. 90% of them have left right-wing political space and are either actively fighting against it or checked out entirely. They still generally lean right, but were so appalled by the way they were personally spoken to, treated, or impacted in the real world by freakish perceptions of gender relations, or simply zero appreciation for their political contribution, that they threw their hands up. Once again, you can make all the claims in the world about how, see, this is why women shouldn't vote, they're so emotional, or this is so stupid of them. Okay. It doesn't change the fact that the freakish repeal of the 19th discourse online, which will never happen, lol, is absolutely impacting the way people vote and the politics they contribute to. I've never seen a more delusional take so detached from my real world experience than the idea that normal people aren't seeing this stuff, cringing and moving further left, or more so that right wing women aren't leaving the right due to this rhetoric. They are in mass. Don't take my word for it. Just check back on this post in 5 years. This makes me so happy. It does. It really does. Because I obviously know that right wingers are sexist and racist. I would never push a button for those people. But these women are finally seeing how they are, and it makes me ecstatic. I have been watching the discourse. They do not like women, and now they are turning on their own women. And, they should have seen it. Women, liberal women, feminist women have been telling them, but they just thought that it was deserved for some strange reason. Now they are getting the pushback. They are getting it. So Lauren Southern today made a post. The right used to hate backwards women hating ideologies like Islam. Now many red pill influencers are embracing it. They've been embracing it. This Christo-fascist movement has been going on hardcore since the Reagan administration. Red pillars are speaking evangelical talking points. So I don't know why they're talking about red pill influencers are now embracing it. They've been embracing it. And then Lauren Southern made a whole YouTube video. Now, the thing about it is, I didn't know anything about Lauren Southern. When I first saw her on Twitter and she was defending Hillary Crowder's right to get some money during their divorce, I literally thought that this was a feminist woman. I didn't know that she was MAGA and alt-right and all that kind of stuff, because she was saying that this woman deserves some money in her divorce, which makes sense to me as a feminist. But now this woman is talking pretty much. She's sounding kind of feminist to me, but who knows? She literally could just be a grifter. But since she is going through a divorce, she's seeing that women do need some protections. That's one thing that I don't get about these types of people. They only start to think about themselves when they need help, when they need protection, when someone in their lives need protection. That reminds me of this news article. So this came out in the Business Insider a couple of days ago. I didn't get a chance to get to it. She says, I live in Florida and was a conservative. When my kid came out as non-binary, the way I parent changed. So now she can see the other side because her child is non-binary. But other people just speaking their experiences wasn't enough for this type of woman. This type of woman couldn't see anything. It wasn't important until it impacted her home. Okay, just a snippet from this. I'm not going to do this whole article. A piece says, Mom, I don't feel like my name fits who I feel like anymore. I want to go by the name Remy. The day my child said that to me 3 years ago is the day my life as a parent changed. In the months preceding that day, Remy has shared that they thought maybe they were bisexual or lesbian. Another day, they said them pronouns were a better fit. I acknowledge these comments as they came as part of their self discovery. But the day my child came to me with a quavering voice and unshed tears asking me to go by a new name, I knew this was different. My child was non binary. This was a path I wasn't expecting and a path I wasn't prepared for. People like this have no compassion when we're talking about pronouns or whatever, because they're conservative and they're Christian, and it's very hard, boxes. This is what a woman does, this is what a man does. But now that it's her kid, she has to respect it. And I get it. I'm glad that she's made the change, but I wish that these MFers could have some compassion when it's not just simply in their home, in their life. Just have some compassion for how other people want to be treated. Anyways, back to Lauren Southern. She says, amazing, mostly positive response here, but love that the two negative responses to this video are variations of, this isn't actually happening on the right, you're making this up, and inshallah, women are cattle, my Christian brothers finally understand. I mean, this is her experience. She's seeing this, and I love that. I love that she's seeing this. Trader Jill responded with, I've been saying the pendulum is swinging so far in the opposite direction from the insanity on the left that is equating to the outright abuse of women. So I'm so glad that you see it too. People have told me the same thing. It's not happening. A Bort, who I saw in some other tweets, says, how is wanting a stable family life equating to outright abuse of women? Do you think it's abusive for women to take on roles as mothers and homemakers? And it couldn't, I mean, maybe it's not abusive, but when you want to remove the safety nets for women, when you don't want to pay if they divorce, if they were homemakers, if you want to make sure that women can't get away if there's abuse, then yes, it's abusive. And then the person at the bottom says abuse, oh noes. So they're making fun. And these are the type of comments that's just going to keep on pushing women away from this movement. And I love it. JJ says, wake me when these guys have captured universities and corporations. And then Trader Jill says, totally. I mean, why head off the abuse before it takes over big institutions and just fuels the radicals? That would be nonsense. You have the forethought of a doorknob. But to that, I would say to Trader Jill, why didn't she think of this before now? The feminists, the left-leaning women have been saying these people are effing sexist. But does she listen? Did they have any forethought? No, it was because the vitriol was coming towards the colored women. It was coming towards gay folks. It was coming towards all other non-white folks. So she didn't have to have any forethought. Now they are seeing that it's coming at them. And I'm just like, y'all should have seen. You should have had some forethought, Trader Jill. And people are also bringing up her past of who she is. She used to grift as a white nationalist that strived for a white ethno state, yet she never dated a white man and has a mixed race child. So they are bringing her business back into the forefront.
Better than this. We used to lambast societies where women couldn't vote or get educated, and now these influencers see that shit and think, yes, perfect. Burqas for everyone, multiple wives, all of them illiterate. I don't want to be able to have a conversation with a single woman. Love it. And the reason our society is better, and why myself and so many others defended the West back in the day, is because everyone was educated, men and women. Women literally educate our children. We get dumber men when women aren't educated. And this is the reason everyone wants to come to our society, because it is more intelligent, more literate. People are more capable of engaging and building community. Women and men who are higher educated, way less likely to divorce, way less likely. And that family unit, so integral. And yet we want to go back in time instead, go back to the Stone Age, to the values of the people who are literally escaping those countries to come here because it's created such shit cultures. The left imported all of this. I don't want to hear a bo peep from them about the sexism of young British boys. They did this. And now you've got all of these new influencers on the right that say I've changed. I've become some sort of feminazi now, that I shouldn't be critiquing any of this, that I shouldn't even be online at all, commenting on politics whatsoever. Let me tell you right now, I have not changed on this subject one bit. Not one bit. But what has changed is there has been an influx of new demographics with intolerant ideologies who right-wing influencers are trying to appeal to. Because there's just as much money in mass migration to be made from the left as there is in the right. And they want to make sure that money's making its way around to everyone, including themselves. So to make this clear, millions more people with different ideologies come into our countries, and that becomes millions more people to make money off of, on super chats, on events, everything. Who cares about morals? Who cares what right wing actually thought 10, 15 years ago? There is money to be made.
You're gonna have sex with any guy they want to.
You're supposed to have sex with him whenever he's